And welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends over at Joann.com. I'm your host, Mikey. Well, today is week number 4. We're over the halfway point. We're ready to go. You want to get your blanket done. I know you're just dying to do it. So today we're going to move on in today's mystery. But of course, let me tell you a little bit more about it before we jump on into the studio and get started today. So in week number 4, it's all about getting your afghan to be bigger, right? So what we're going to do is not do all 4 sides. We're going to do one side, and then we're going to do the opposite side in today's particular tutorial. We're going to be using the most famous stitch of all. Yes, it's the basket weave, and it is going to be amazing. You'll have a lot of fun doing that as well. If you're new to basket weave, don't let that name fool you. It's not as hard as it sounds, and of course I'm here to help you as well. So don't forget to post to any social media of using our hashtags of Handmade with Joann as well as the Crochet Crowd, and we're going to get started, and let's head on into the studio right now. This video has sound alerts added. When you hear this sound, it will be your signal that the segment is finishing up. Press stop and crochet the instructions, and then press play again to continue along in your project. So welcome to week 4 here in the studio. We are going to make your blanket even bigger today by adding basket weave to opposite sides of your blanket. So we're only going to work on 2 sides, which will be opposite to each other, and I've actually marked up my sheet here for your convenience in order for you to understand. We also have 2 pages on this one here. We also have a diagram, so you can see it's going to be the basket weave just like you see, and here's a rough diagram starting in the one section, and then we're going to come all the way to the other side and then all the way back. So what I want to do is that I want to point out some things here in the diagram first, and then I'm going to take you to the other set of instructions that I'm going to point something out there too, and then we're going to get started today. So here's the stitch key in the diagram, and everything that we're going to be playing with here is marked. Some things may not be relevant for today's diagram. For example, the long single crochet is not used within this particular example today. We've already used it in the future or in the past. So what we have here is that we have the grayed out area, and this is where we are on the corner of the last clue, and so that's already done. So what I want to point out to you is that when we go to start this next set of clues, you're going to have the right side facing up, so it's the good side, so it's the one with the surface crochet on top and that you'll be able to see, and that's where you're going to start. And you'll see that there's 3 double crochets in the corner. Remember that the chaining of 3 counts as a double crochet, so you have to keep that in mind. You're going to slip stitch and then build up chain 3 and then double crochet yourself all the way across, and then you're going to go all the way to the other side till you hit to the middle one of the opposite side. Okay, so there's going to be 3 double crochets in the corner. You go to the middle one, and then that's where you're going to stop, and then we're just going to build it up back and forth. So it's actually a pretty easy pattern to be able to follow along. To make it a little more complicated for you, but it's really not, it's just the way that the diagram looks, is that there's front post double crochet and back post double crochet, and you can see the relevance of the hooks. So the neat thing about this particular idea is that everything is in groups of 3 of sets. So there's going to be 3 back post double crochets and then 3 front post double crochets, and you keep alternating back and forth. The only place you need to watch for is in the very beginning, is that you'll see that here it's a half double crochet and then only 2 front post double crochets here, and then it jumps to 3, 3, 3, and 3. So you just have to watch out for the end here. There's even on the other side there's only going to be 2, and then the final one is going to either be a chain 2 to start, or it'll be a half double crochet, which counts as the same thing. So you can look at the diagrams in order to follow, but I also narrowed it down to make it a lot easier for you as well. And going right to the very corner of the middle of the double crochet, and then we're going to start, and we're just going to do our double crochet all the way across. And remember, there's only going to be 54 of those. Make sure you double count that. Okay, make sure you double count, and if you have to improvise in order to get to 54 just in case something's wrong, that's when you need to improvise. You can't improvise later on in this. So what you need to do is that we're going to do that, and then you'll notice that there is basket weaving. This is all this section is. It's not a very big section, and you will notice that there is groups that create the basket weave just like you see. So on this sheet of paper, what I figured out here for you, and the designers made it quite easy as well. So here's the sheet of paper, and then what we have is that we have the setup row, which is your double crochet, and then 2 and 3 are related to each other. So you start them off with the double crochet back post, and then 4 and 5 are going to be starting off with the double crochet front post, and then 6 and 7 is the same as 2 and 3 here, double crochet back post for those 2, and then finally 8 and 9 is double crochet front post, which is the same. So you can see that 2 and 3 and 6 and 7 are the same, and 4 and 5, 8 and 9 are the same as well. And so when you look at it from this point of view, okay, you'll see that you can see the jumping up, so it doesn't matter. So you got like 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know if that's actually correct when I point it out like that, but you can see that there are 4 different layers here, which equals what I have here on the paper. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm not going to do everything with you on camera, but I'm going to show you how to get started. I'm going to show you the double crochet back post to get started for rows 2 and 3, and then I'm going to show you a double crochet front post for 4 and 5, and then I'm going to leave the remaining for you, and then you have to do the opposite side. So what does that mean? Well, let me show you that. So we're going to be doing the opposite side of each other. So for example, right now we have a square just like this. Choose any side, doesn't matter to begin. So I'm just gonna go up. So I'm gonna extend on and make my basket weave as part of this section here, just like you see. And then what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna extend down and do the other side opposite to each other. Okay, just like this. So they're attached as you go. And then what we're gonna do in the next clue is that we're gonna do something and attach on this side of both sides, just like this. So what you need to do is that when you go to do this, make sure you commit to one side, doesn't matter, and then whatever the opposite side is to that, that's when you do the second piece. So let's get started with your crochet hook and let's begin. So let's begin. We have the right side facing up. I can see the surface overlay is on top. Okay, so this is the right side and this is where I want to start. So both sides when you go to start have to be the right side up. Okay, and that's indicated as RS. We're now going to grab our yarn and we're going to create a slip knot to begin, and we're going to start our first section. So what you need to do is remember there's 3 double crochets that are in the corner. I want you to go to the middle one and insert in and attach it with a slip stitch and leave the straggler down on top so we can hide that, and I want you to chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and that counts as a double crochet. So what I want you to do is double crochet in each one of the stitches all the way across, including the middle one of the other side, which I'll meet you there to make sure. And you're just gonna double crochet, lock in that straggler by just crocheting right up over top of it, and the goal is to get 54 all the way across. I will show you near the end of this in just a moment what happens if you're just one off, and just in case you have to fake it or make it to get 54. But 54 is the magic number in order for you to continue further in this mystery. So I'm gonna show you how to cheat the system just in case you don't have 54. I do have 54, but I'm gonna show you how to cheat it. So what I happen to have here is that if you have a stitch that is missing, so you ended up with 53 by the time you got to the corner. So all you can just do is that just make one of them to have 2 double crochets into the same one. This yarn is so easy to be able to hide any imperfection like this. So you just continue along and then you'll end up with that even count that you need in order to keep on balance. Now you may not think that's kind of correct, but why frog the whole thing, or meaning take it apart in order to fix that if you don't have to. So what happens if you are one too many? So say I ended up with 55 instead of 54. One thing I could do is that I could put 2 stitches together, and I would not recommend doing it more than once, so make sure you try to get it as close as possible to 54. But just wrap the hook going in, pull through 2 and hold, and then go to the next one, wrap the hook, go into the next one, pull through 2 and hold, and then pull together, and those 2 just became 1 stitch. So then you end up with your 54. So that's only counted as 1 stitch instead. So that's how you can improvise just in case that your counts are off by the time you get to the other corner. I'll see it in the other corner in just a moment. So once you get to the other side, then all you just have to see is that you have 3 double crochets that were here in the white, and we're just ending in the middle one of the group of 3. So this is row number 1. This is the setup row, and now we're gonna begin to do rows number 2 and 3. They're both exactly the starting of the same of each other, even though that they're opposite to each other. So let me just show you that in just a moment. So 2 and 3 are gonna be the same. So let's begin rows number 2 and number 3. They're both exactly the same rows, you just have to do one and then the other. So what we're going to do is that we're going to chain 2, which counts as a half double crochet on the end, and that is your very first stitch that is below it. So there is 2, and we're gonna start off, and we're gonna start with the next 2 being back post double crochet. So you're gonna wrap the hook and then just come around from the back, pop it through the post, and then back out to the back side. Then pull through the yarn. So let me just show that again. So you're gonna wrap the yarn, you're gonna come from the back out through the side of the post and then back out, wrap the yarn, pull through, and then you end up with your 3 back on the hook like you normally would with double crochet, and then you finish it. So you do that one plus the next one being the same. So back post double crochet. You get used to the motion of this, so it's a little awkward if you're learning for the first time. So then you have 2 back posts. So what happens here is that the half double crochet in these 2 equal like a set of 3. So the next 3 posts are gonna be front post double crochet. So you wrap the hook, now come from the front side, okay, down through the post and back out the other side, pull through, and then pull through 2 and 2. That's your front post double crochet, and then wrap the hook, do the next one. So down through the front, back out, and do the next one like that. So you have 3 in a row that are front post double crochet. So the next 3 are now gonna be back posts. So wrap the hook, come in from the back, out through the back, and just keep doing that. So just wrap, come from the back, out through the back, and do 3 of those in a row. Okay, so you get 3 in a row. So now you're gonna do the next 3 in the front post. So do you understand the pattern? So what I'm gonna do is continue that same pattern going all the way across, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you how to finish off, because you'll end up with 3 left over at the end, and I'll show you how to finish that. So I had 3 in the front, now 3 in the back, and then 3 in the front, 3 in the back, and so on. Continue this to the end of the row, and I'll see you there in just a moment. So we're gonna get to the other side, and there's only gonna be 3. So I just finished off with back post double crochets. There's 3 in a row, and now there's 3 left. So these ones will end up with being front post double crochet for the first 2, and then the last one will just be a half double crochet to equal that. So we're just gonna wrap the hook, and so the next one is a front post double crochet, same with the next one, and then all you're just gonna do in the third one is that you'll make it into a half double crochet. So what I want to explain to you is that because we finished off with doing front post double crochets here, when we go to turn it, see, it's gonna be on the back post the next time that we see it. So that's why 2 and 3 can be related to each other, and 4 and 5 are related, and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, because the designer has put thought to how this is ending on this one side, and that's pretty awesome. So let's move on to and turn our work and go on to row number 3. Let's begin row number 3, and this is gonna be the same thing of what we just did for 6 and 7. So this is actually repeat number 7 that we're doing if you were to repeat it down in the future. So you're going to chain up 2, which counts as a half double crochet, and the first 2, do you notice that they're in the back post right now of what we saw? See this line? This is indicating that it's sunken below, and that's a back post, and this here is in the front post. So in order to maintain basket weave, we have to maintain the certain look for a certain amount of time before switching over. So 2 and 3 are going to be showing like this over, and then 4 and 5 is going to be the switch over where this buries down and then makes the basket weave, and then 6 and 7 brings it back up, and then 8 and 9 pushes it back down. So the first 2 are going to be a back post double crochet. So we're maintaining exactly what you see. So you can either look at the pattern and study it if you want to, but in this particular row, okay, you just have to maintain. So you can see this is on the front post right now, so you're gonna maintain that to be on the front post again. Does that make sense for you? It's pretty easy, right? So you're just maintaining exactly what you see. So the next 3 are in the back post, so maintain those in the back post. So maintain exactly what you see all the way across for row number 3, and then I'm gonna come back, because next time when we come back we're gonna make everything polar opposite to create that basket weave look. So continue what you see right now. When you get to the opposite side, you're still maintaining exactly what you see, and then don't forget that final turning chain here is just gonna be a half double crochet. So this was what we completed then for rows number 2 and 3. You can see that you have the upper areas here, you have the lowered areas. It's really 3-dimensional. But now we're gonna turn our work and go for 4 and 5, and in 4 we're gonna make everything opposite, and then 5 we maintain that. So let me just turn our work and go for 4 and 5. So in rows 4, what we're going to do is that we're going to make everything opposite to what you see. So you can see that these are in the front posts right now. You can see the back posts that are in between, and you can see the nice big layers. So in row number 4 we're going to make everything opposite, and this happens in row number 8 as well, where we make everything opposite. So this is actually really quite an easy thing. So just chain up 2, which counts as a double crochet. So the first 2 that you see here are in the back post, so now we're gonna make them front posts. So just wrap the hook and bring those forward with the front post double crochet, and this is what's creating the basket weave look. So you now bring in what was in the back now forward. So these are in the front now. You're gonna bring those back, just come in from behind and make them a back post double crochet, and that will pull it down and backward in order to create the same look of the basket weave, right? So in this row, row number 4, which you'll have to repeat again in the future, is that you're just making everything opposite. So you see these are in the back, so just go in and make them in the forward this time. So a front post double crochet for all 3. You can see the basket weave is starting now to take its shape. See, jumping in and out, and then the next ones make them in the back because they're currently in the front. Please do that all the way across for row number 4. So coming all the way to the other side, then you got the 3 that are in front. You're still making them opposite to what you have. This is row number 4, and you got 2 that are left in the end, and then you have 1 turning chain, which will be a half double crochet this time. So let's turn our work and go for row number 5. Let's start our work and go for row number 5. We're gonna chain up 2, counts as a double crochet, a half double crochet. Now the first 2 are front posts, the next 3 are back posts, front posts, back posts, and etc. So what we have to do is we have to maintain exactly what we see this time, okay, in order to create that look. Okay, so you're just gonna make the first 2 front post double crochet because there already are, and then the next 3 are going to be back post double crochets because they already are. So this is gonna be how you do everything for then row number 5. So what we're gonna do then is that once you come back to row number 6, everything is opposite once again. So for example, if it was a front post double crochet this time, it'll be a back post. So every 2 rows they change positions for each other in order to keep the the basket weave going, right? So it's actually pretty easy to be able to follow. So just maintain exactly what you see going all the way across right now. So if it's in the front post double crochet that you see in the row below, then just continue to make it. If it's in the back post, then continue to do that. So what I'll do is that we'll get to the end of this row, finish it off, and then we'll recap with your instructions. You're on row number 5 right now. You're more than halfway done this one panel, and you'll have to do the same thing for the other side once you're ready for that as well. And once you come to the end of row number 5, you're still maintaining exactly what you see, and then make sure it's only 2 in the end as always, and then just go into the turning chain for the half double crochet. So you're gonna turn your work, and then you're gonna do rows number 6 and 7, which are the same, and then 8 and 9. And let me just turn it and just recap that, and then I'm gonna leave the rest for you to do, and you can do both sides of your work as well, as meaning both sides. So we're just zooming out. So now 6 and 7 are left, and 8 and 9. So what you have here on the end here is that when you start 6, it's gonna be opposite. So if it's in the front post double crochet that you see it here, the next one is gonna be back post double crochet for those, and then these ones that are in the back will be in the front post, and etc. You'll turn your work, maintain exactly what you already see, and then row number 8 you're going to make it opposite again. So if it's on the front post, then you make it on the back post, and etc. to do that. So you now have 4 rows left, 6 and 7, which are the same, and then 8 and 9, and then that's good to go. You're gonna fasten off and then weave in your ends, and then this will be the end of this, and you're gonna do the opposite side as well. So you have that all ready for you on the opposite side, and then when we come back then next week, we're going to then fill in the outsides, putting something there as well. So until further ado, have a great day. We'll see you again real soon, and we'll see you next week, same time, same channel. We'll see you. Bye. So that was pretty neat, right? So you can post your work in progress photos at any time on our Facebook events pages, and also using any kind of social media. Just use our hashtag of Handmade with Joanne as well as the Crochet Crowd in order to play. So it's really quite awesome. You're gonna have to join me next week as we continue our mystery, because we're gonna grow the other 2 sides next week with something completely different, and it might have been a clue left in the very beginning of this whole series. Till next time, have a great week. We'll see you again next week as we continue our mystery with you. We'll see you.